Hey, hi everybody.
Hello.
Hi Sydney. Hi Levi.
Hello. Hello.
What are you doing up here? Oh, you might be going ready to talk about something here pretty soon, huh?
Could be.
Awesome. Cool. Well, we got a good show today, don't we? We got three amazing dogs on. And
Yes.
wow. And we got Fred and Alistair and Nellie. So Nellie's the mama of the Z litter, if anybody remembers her. And Fred, very suspicious about him. So anyway, we're gonna get right to it.
Excellent.
I'm gonna hopefully Debbie be ready with Alistair first, because we're gonna play a video that was put together for him. And you got anything before we get going here, Levi or Sydney?
Not at the moment.
Nope, let's do it.
All right. Hey, hi,
Hello.
Debbie. Is that Alistair behind you?
That is Alistair behind me, and I'll turn the phone around so you can get a better look at him. But yes, he's napping. It's his nap time.
All
It's my
right.
nap time too.
And you discovered something new here a little while ago about both of them, didn't you?
Yes, they did not like me bringing out the laptop. They were both like, ah! So I'm going on my phone. So bear with me today, please.
Yeah.
They were both afraid of the laptop.
And what would you do about that, Levi? While she's
Yeah,
getting
so
her phone?
even something with like a laptop before, say, turning it on and in theory, putting it in their faces, it could just be you take it out of its usual spot, treat them for even looking at you, touching it, or looking at it, and then put it away. And it just builds your confidence in seeing like, hey, the thing came out, nothing happened, it didn't get any closer to us, and we got paid to look at it, and it also went away.
Okay.
All
We
right.
can do that.
Oh, yeah.
So we're going to
And
make
it's
it
pretty
bigger
fun.
now. And that way we can get a better look at Alistair.
All right, let me turn the phone around so you guys can really see him.
All right. You remember how to do it, right?
I do, yes.
Awesome. Cool.
Perfect.
Yeah. Wow, what a good looking boy.
Handsome.
There you go, bud.
Video mentioned that he likes to dig out, but you've discovered a way to, well, kind of make him want to stay home, huh?
I did, yes. So for the first couple of weeks, it was touch and go. He would dig out or he would hop the fence. And I found that if I walk him before I work from home, I walk him about 30, 40 minutes, and he is just content as could be. No more issues with him trying to get out.
Wow. Interesting. Now, he got out on you twice, right?
3 times.
3 times.
Yes, and then
he didn't go under all 3 times, did he?
no, one time he dug under. One time he found the one rotted board and went through. And then one time he hopped over the 6-foot fence.
Oh,
Wow. Wow.
He was determined.
where does he go?
Digging?
I'm sorry?
Where does he go when he gets out, I guess?
Well, I catch him immediately.
Okay.
I mean, where my desk is, it's at a big window, and I see everything in the backyard. So I caught him instantly. But he would just go into the neighbor's yard, and then I would go out there and call his name, and he'd just come right up to me like, busted.
All right. But now you corrected the digging part. And how'd
Yes.
you do that?
We put chicken wire under the fence so he couldn't dig into the neighbor's yard.
Nice.
There you go.
I'm sure the neighbor
And he
appreciates
hasn't
it.
tried since. So he felt the
Good.
chicken wire, was like, I don't like that.
So that was a cheap, easy fix for that.
It was, yes.
And
So
you had
he
to keep your
definitely, right. He definitely will need a secure yard.
cord. Okay. And that is at least until, well, he wants to stay there because
Yeah, it'll
believe
take him
that-
a couple weeks to settle in for sure.
well, we believe he was heading back to his last place, which is GPRS headquarters. And you're in Washington.
Probably. I am, yes. He's going to hitch a ride back.
That would have been a hike for him.
It would.
All right. What can you tell us about him? Other
He
than he's not an escape artist.
He is really a sweet, sweet boy. He still is a bit timid on things, so we're trying to slowly introduce him to all kinds of new people and new things. He tends to pancake when he gets scared or nervous,
Sounds about right.
and he's come a long way since he first got here, but he gets along great with other dogs.
Mhm.
He has a field day playing with Nellie, and they also have a golden doodle next door, Mac, that they have play dates with regularly, and they all get along fantastic. He is a little bit of a Velcro dog. He does follow me wherever I go in the house.
Mhm.
He just wants to be with his people.
Yeah.
But he really is just easygoing, laid back. I'm enjoying having him in the house.
Mhm.
Just a sweetheart.
How old is he again?
You see,
He is 3.5, and I think he would do good in a home with another active dog that he can play with, because he really enjoys wrestling and chasing and running with Nellie in the yard.
Hmm.
we saw that in his video.
Yeah, they do. They, especially in the morning and the evening, they're very active and love to run and chase each other.
Yeah.
Looks
And I
peaceful
don't,
there.
I don't have any issues with him with food aggression or this is my toy. His biggest problem is he needs to put weight on. He's still quite a bit underweight. So we have been, we've been fattening him up. He could be a finicky eater and not very food motivated.
And what was he looking at in this photo?
Who knows?
Okay. Just looking.
He he can go out to the window and he could see a leaf blowing by him to let me know, or there could actually be a person there. Who knows?
Well,
He
he's
looks
good
alert but not upset.
Yes. Well, we
Right.
also have the school bus stop is in front of the house. So he could have been looking at the kids getting off the school bus.
Okay.
Okay. Nancy wants to know if he's good with kids.
He is timid at first when they first approach him, especially the smaller ones.
Mhm.
But he really does well. Once they start petting him and giving him the attention, he just eats it up.
Mhm.
But I think if he was in a home with smaller children, he may accidentally knock them over, just because he's so big.
Mhm.
But he overall, he does pretty good with kids.
And how big is he?
Well, haven't weighed him since he's been here, but I know at headquarters he was about 92 pounds.
Wow.
And we're trying to put weight on him because he was really skinny.
Just
Wow.
from a cursory glance, obviously through the screen monitor here, he looks like he'll still be relatively like small-ish for the males.
Yes.
At least from this picture that I have here in front of me right now, I don't think he'll exceed 110.
Yeah, I think you're right on that. He's probably, I would say, put on at least, 7 to 10 pounds since he's been here.
Mhm.
I've been feeding him these magical little things called Satan balls that I think Sydney might have given me the recipe for.
Yeah.
So that's been helping.
How does he do on leash?
Walks beautiful.
Amazing.
Absolutely beautiful.
And
I have
apparently,
no problems
Apparently,
with.
he comes when he's called too.
What's that?
Apparently, he comes when he's called too. When he gets out.
Yeah, he does. He really does. But yeah, I can walk him and Nellie with no problems all by myself, and I can actually hold them both in one hand
Wow.
and have loose leash. They're
That's
just, and then if I stop, they both stop and look back at me to see what I'm doing.
nice. Wow.
They walk really, really nice.
Awesome.
So he's going to make somebody a really, really happy family. He is just such a good dog. I can't say enough good things about this love bug.
Now the video says you're not sure about cats, but if I remember right, any dog that's at headquarters, there's a cat that runs around there.
I believe you are absolutely correct.
So the dogs don't always come in contact with the cat, though.
Right.
And it's more to cat test. We do more than just that, but still
But he's at least been exposed at some point there, probably, but we don't know what happened. So right now they don't have an answer about cats.
Well, and I can tell you on our walks, if we walk by a cat, there's no reaction whatsoever.
Nice.
And I would have hoped for that one out of him.
Yep, nothing. He just walks right by.
I guess probably if and when he ever does come into contact with one, it'll be pretty excitable curiosity, and then in theory, nothing else.
Well, I know so I'm one of these weirdos that in the mornings, I like to give my squirrels their walnuts. And I can tell you the squirrels run right up to the porch when I'm exiting the house with the dogs. And neither one of them flinched when the squirrels come running up.
Yeah.
Wow.
They just kind of look at him like, whatever.
Maybe it's either because they know they can't catch him or
Right.
And
Wow.
when Alistair was at headquarters, he also got along nicely. There's one really little dog that's I think she's about 15 pounds. So he did great with that little dog. So that's something that potential adopters might want to know, because sometimes people have big and little dogs together in their fur family, and so that's something that is a common question as well. Like, hey, is this dog going to be okay with my 15 or 20 pound little dog? So he is.
Well, I'll tell you what, you guys are still on that roll with the perfect peers.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah.
Well, I know too, when we go on our walks in the morning, we do run into a gentleman that walks his Chihuahua, and they do wonderful with the Chihuahua.
Wow.
Hey. He's got a bio up there, and go to Great Pyrenees Rescue Society.org, and that's where you can read more about him up there too.
Yeah, he really is a good boy.
He is. So, and it'll be sad to see him go, but he's got to get home so you can get 2 more. You seem to get your fosters in pairs.
Yes, it actually works out better for me that way. Since I work from home, they have each other to entertain, and I can get my work done.
Good. Maybe we can get you Ruby and Nomad next.
Maybe.
Just don't walk them together the first time you walk them.
Well, that's good to know.
Yeah. Wow. Okay. GreatPyreneesRescueSociety.org. You have a second foster, don't you?
I do, Miss Nellie.
And she has a video too, doesn't she?
She does.
Well, let's open with that.
Okay.
Now we don't want to spoil too much of the video, but the video has been up for 3 days. So here's Nellie's little video. She likes her stuffed animals, doesn't she?
Oh, she does.
She's perfect. She in front of a
Look how
fan.
she's sleeping.
She's sound asleep.
Okay, so wow.
She's not even on the pillow the whole way.
Nope, she is out like a light.
Now at showtime, or just before showtime, her bio wasn't up yet, but it's going up soon, isn't it, Debbie?
It is, yes.
Now she's come. Now I met this girl down at headquarters, and you had asked me if she let me touch her, and my answer was she was kind of busy at the time feeding her sea litter babies. And I don't know if anybody remembers her puppies or not, but Zayden was on the show. He was one of them. Now they don't look alike. Ain't that something? They don't look very much alike, do they? But that's her babies. So, and now I'm trying to get a home. And,
yeah, I would say she needs to go to a home with somebody that is very patient. She's come a long way since she's got here, but she is still very nervous about anything new, new people. It takes her a while to warm up. It took her almost a month for her to be comfortable with my husband in the house.
Okay.
Now she's fine with them, lets him pet her, walk her, put her leash on her. She's just really, really slow when it comes to meeting new people.
That's okay.
Okay, so you have had visitors.
Well, yes, we have had visitors, and it's really funny because some she will approach right away, and some she will not. And I can't determine what the trigger is, why some she will and some she won't.
And sometimes that's okay.
Right. I feel bad. My mailman has come by every week, twice a week since I've had them, just to get some loving. And finally, Alistair let him pet him, but Nellie still will not.
Nellie will come around because Alice.
She will. She will. And once she, is comfortable and familiar with you, she is just a sweetheart. She's got a really fun personality. She loves to run and play. She would do great in a home with another active dog that can show her the ropes and that she can romp and wrestle with.
Yeah.
And I would say with her, probably small kids would not be a good fit for her. They move fast, make fast movements, that would probably be fearful for her.
Yeah.
Right.
There is something that you can do with Nellie, with also your mailman or just general guests and visitors. It's called treat retreat, and it's just having them toss a treat over her shoulder, so she has to disengage and leave to go get it, and then that's all they do. They don't approach her, they don't look at her, they don't try to pet her. It's just tossing that treat over her shoulder so that she can decide when she's ready to come back, but she paid herself to leave and feel better.
Okay, that's a great, because we've been throwing treats to her, but we haven't been throwing them over her shoulder, so we will definitely try that.
Yeah. And that just helps with dogs not only building their own confidence and learning to also, they can leave. Our dogs don't realize that they can just go when they're upset, which is why we see a lot of reactivity where you get the lunging, the barking in your face, and then you think, well, then go away. The dogs don't know that. So it's teaching her, you can leave, and then you'll also feel better because you also got paid to leave.
Okay, that's a great tip.
Yeah. Wow, that video didn't say much about her, did it? It was
No.
how good the fosters are doing.
But she really is. I mean, since she got here, she has really opened up a lot. She's more trusting of people. She's funny enough, she still will not take a treat from my hand.
Well, it's okay. She doesn't have to.
But she does pretty much everything else with me.
Yeah. There's a common misconception that when you reward a dog for the behavior, they have to eat the treat, and that's not true. Just offer the treat. It's up to them to take it or not, but you still offered it. It's still a reward.
Right. I'll usually just drop it. I'll give her the option if she wants to take it from me. And if she doesn't, I'll just drop it.
Well, when you drop it and then she eats it, you just kind of rewarded her for not taking the treat from you.
Oh, that's very true.
And
I hadn't thought of it that way.
Yeah, and it's also making sure that it's a treat that she, in general, would want. So in the case where she does take it after it's been dropped, it may be because you're also extending your hand. In theory, you're also probably leaning and looking into her eyes or something like that, that it becomes very conflicting. And then it's just, she becomes too nervous to take it because what if, now that you're also in her space, what if ... She might not know what that ... is, but she's
right.
Could be. So I mean, you can also do a similar treat retreat with her, but also making sure that you're paying her according to what she wants to be paid.
Okay. Okay. And I will say there is a treat that she has not met that she doesn't like. This girl is very food motivated.
Sure.
Just not from your hand because she doesn't have to. Because
right.
It's better if she takes it off the floor.
Right. Exactly.
Everybody likes a little extra floor spice.
And for anyone that wants to volunteer or foster or adopt, there's where the forms are right there.
And I say do it. It is so rewarding. It really is. To see them, go from this shy girl to where she is now, it just soothes the soul. It is just so fulfilling to see them come out of their shells and be dogs again.
Yeah.
Well, and you can see from the photos, because the last photo that was just up with her was actually an earlier photo, and you can see in her face and body language that she's afraid of the world. And then you see in later photos, and right here, you can see how relaxed her body is,
And
and gosh, what a beautiful thing to be a part of her journey, Debbie.
Yeah.
It is. It really, really is. I am
muddy.
blessed to be able to do this.
Oh yeah, you're doing great work too.
Thank
And it's-
you.
You know, dogs don't feel good being afraid of the world, just like people don't feel good being afraid of the world. So you can always do, you know, enrichment and confidence building at their pace so that they
Right.
learn on their own, because it has to be them learning it, not us telling them that the world is not, or does not have to be as scary as it sometimes actually is.
Yeah.
That's right.
And she too is very active, more in the mornings and in the evenings. She gets along, like I said, great with other dogs. She loves to wrestle and play and chase. One of the things that I will say, whoever adopts her, don't leave your shoes on the ground. She will eat your shoelaces.
And that's if she gets them before Alistair buries them, right?
That's right. That's Alistair's favorite thing, is to bury your shoes in the backyard. I learned that the hard way. I bought a brand new pair of shoes, and I always leave them by the door. And I was like, where are my shoes? And Alistair came in with dirt on his face, and I was like, oh no.
I found the shoes.
Well,
Yet he didn't eat them. He just felt he needed to bury them.
well, all the peer owners out there will probably agree with me that, well, if it's on the floor, it belongs to the dog.
That's right. I have since learned I no longer keep the shoes on the floor. But both of these guys are just beautiful, beautiful animals, and they're very easygoing, just great personalities, and they would make a great addition to any home.
Yeah, she's really chill for almost 2.
Yeah, she is very mellow. Except when she's jumping on Alistair's head and wrestling.
Which is also nice to see her be a dog too. That's nice.
Right.
Lori says fostering is very rewarding too. Now she fosters Newfoundlands for that Newfoundland place in Connecticut, but she understands the fostering too, and you're saving more than just the life of the dog that you foster, because you're clearing up a spot at the shelter too. They can take another one. So
and it's even if you can't foster for whatever that situation or reason may be, like myself, I got into essentially working with Steve because I really wanted to be able to help, but fostering is completely out of my ability. Because I'm also in an apartment and my dogs are not dog friendly. So I thought, you know, if nothing else, I can volunteer my time in some other way. And now it's here we come.
And you do it well. Yep.
I'm trying.
Levi is he's with the nonprofit organization for training and behavior. So he's a free guy. All right. Anyway, well, we got to move on. We don't want to miss out on Fred here.
Yeah, let's see Fred.
Yeah, because Fred, well, he's got a good video too, and we're gonna just open it up with that, and then we'll bring him up. Well, hi, Krista.
Hey, how are you?
And there's Fred.
Here's Fred.
So handsome.
Wow. Yeah. And you've got two more dogs that look just like him there, too, don't you?
I do. I have the whole family here.
So, did they determine he's the father of the e-litter?
The verdict's still out on the jury's still out on that one.
Okay, I vote for yes.
I was
That's if
thinking
it goes to
maybe I'm leaning more toward Fred just because the puppy that I adopted, his coat's a little bit more yellow. The other option would be for Bonbon to be the dad, but Bonbon is a very stark white. He's beautiful.
Ah. Those freckles are a dead giveaway, aren't they?
Oh, yeah,
They're so cute. I love
He
his
is,
dark
he
gray
is
patch markings.
amazing.
I love his Phantom of the Opera mask over here.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Call it that.
man, and
Oh,
just
so sweet.
good looking boy. Now,
He is so
Yeah.
it
cute.
says there that it said in the video that he's not a protective boy, but I think what that meant was he's not a big barker, is he?
No, actually, I hadn't heard him bark. I wasn't really sure that he was going to. Bonbon is the one that barks and chases after squirrels in our backyard, but last night we had a thunderstorm run through, and Fred is an impeccable weatherman.
Uh-oh.
Oh,
Uh-oh.
So he wouldn't alert us to people knocking on the door, but he will alert us to a storm that's about to come through.
All right.
Oh.
Wow. Now, I guess we can see why he didn't do well on the farm. Probably invited the coyotes in. But
How old is
I'll tell you,
Fred?
that boy is just
Actually, I'm not sure. I think his companion that we picked him up with was about 7 years old, so my guess would be he'd be in that age range, between 5 and 7.
Wow.
I've
Looks
seen
very young.
I've seen a couple of different ages on him. Bottom line is this is rescue. The rescues don't know exactly how old dogs are unless they're born.
Right,
rescue.
right.
Mhm.
Yeah, he looks super young, like in the face.
Well, he'd be perfect here
Let me
at my
see.
house.
he's so sweet.
Yeah, his teeth say it's older than 5.
Wow. Fred does have a bio up and is scrolling across the bottom if you want to read some more about him. But Krista's going to tell us everything
I love
she knows.
him.
He's happy.
Fred
Wow.
So Fred is very timid. He is the first time I met him, I could not even get close to him. I had to go put a leash on him, and my thought was that he would do better being around his familiar faces. So we took a couple dogs from Cumby, and a couple of them were in the back kennel. And when Fred was dropped off, we could not get him past the first section of kennels because he was so scared. Well, it took a lot of muscle, but we finally got him back into the pen with his family member. And he did much better. He was much more comfortable when I came to pet him. He would actually come up to me and let me touch him instead of having to force a lead around his neck. Since coming into my home, he's done a lot better. He's a little bit more open to approaching people for those cuddles and pets. And definitely, if you have treats, he will definitely come to you.
So he likes his treats.
He sure does. And then my mother came over the other day, and I was really shocked because most dogs just love her instantly. And Fred was very unsure. He ran in his kennel, and he just stayed there her entire visit.
Wow. Wow. Now you just discovered something new, didn't you? Now how does he ride in the car?
Riding is okay. It's
But
hard to
the
get him
other
in the
part.
car. Getting him in
Yeah.
the car is the issue. Once he's in the car, he's fine. He'll just lay
And
down.
the more he goes in, the easier this will get for him because, well, he gets to get back out eventually.
I think that's true. When he gets comfortable with the humans that he's with, like I bet I could get him into the car a little bit more easier than my husband could.
Okay. Because he trusts you more.
Yeah, I spend a lot of time with him.
Yeah, it's scary up in there where he doesn't know what's up there when he jumps in. Now he likes to hang out in his crate, doesn't he? He goes in there on his own.
I was actually really surprised when I brought him in the house. My fosters are typically not kennel trained. They have a hard time going. I have to do some convincing with them. But he right away took to his kennel. That's his safe space. I drape a blanket over the kennel for him so that he has a little cave to go into. And I think that he finds a lot of purity there. We have 3 other dogs in our house. I have a 10-year-old who can be kind of rambunctious and loud. And Fred just really enjoys the solace of his kennel.
Okay.
He's like our cat dog.
Okay. And we were going to ask how he did with cats.
He's wonderful with cats. He could not care less.
Okay. How many times you want to bring that up, Levi?
As many times as I need to.
What about kids? What's your opinion on kids?
I'd have to say that a lot like Nellie's recommendation, Fred's very much the same. Kids are fast. They move unpredictably. For dogs anyways. I don't think a young child would be good for Fred. I think it would scare him. He would never snap at them, but he would be very fearful.
Okay. Because
that wouldn't be fair to him.
and they're rambunctious and all that.
Yes, because they're a little bit unpredictable and they move fast.
Does he play with your dogs very much?
He will get the zoomies like once a week. He's
an
very
old
low
man.
energy.
Yeah, give us a break. Or give him a break.
I mean, Bonbon's very predictable. He gets them at least once an evening. But Fred, and it's usually like right at bedtime too, after they've all gone out for the night and they're coming in, and it'll just randomly happen where they'll just start racetracking through the house and playing. It's not very long lived. It's maybe like 10 minutes. But
Okay.
That's all right.
very low energy dog.
How's he do on leash? Do you walk him much?
Only if I have the other dogs going out. So I don't always take all 4 dogs for a walk. It's quite exhausting.
Thanks, Lori.
I was just reading that. So when he is on a leash, he does not like walking. He is very scared. He's not really sure what's happening. He wants to go back into his house and back into the kennel. But if I have the other dogs with me, he'll walk as a pack.
Okay.
He's usually bringing up the rear, hanging out between 2 dogs.
Okay.
That sounds more like an underconfidence thing for him.
Yeah. Now we know why he's not on the farm anymore. Some more.
Yeah.
So wow. Okay. But if he's with 1 or 2 of your dogs, then he does well.
He does much better.
Because they're there to protect him. This is cool. This is good.
Show him this is okay. What these other dogs are happy about it, so I can be happy about it.
Yeah, and that's
Now,
what
the
builds
other
his
2
confidence.
the 2 dogs that are in your home with the freckled noses, are those your dogs?
One of them is, and one of them can stay as long as he'd like. He's actually adopted. He has a family already.
Oh,
But he is such a doll. But
Is that the little one?
Malo. Come here, Malo.
like Marshmallow?
Yes, like Marshmallow.
That's so cute.
Come here, Malo.
Well, I think you should get Fred, Steve. It sounds like he'd be a really good fit for your home here. Now he's just the age you're looking for, Steve.
I got to ask Zoe first.
Okay, she'll say yes. Don't worry.
Steve, you're adopting a dog?
Yeah, Steve's gonna get this dog.
But I want seniors. Seniors are the best.
Malo, come here.
But I read one of his ages said 9, and and we just don't know. How old would you say he acts
He
if you put the fear factor aside?
probably around 6 or 7 is my best guess.
Okay.
That's a good age for you, Steve.
He doesn't quite have rotting teeth like the older dogs. His teeth are pretty plaqued right now,
Mhm.
and his energy levels suggest greater than 6. That's my best guess.
Thanks, Lori.
Yeah, no pressure, Steve, but like we all think you should, Steve. Fred thinks you should, Steve.
Oh, look at him.
Come on, Steve.
Look at that face.
Look at
Yeah.
Steve. You could get this
Look at,
done.
look at.
Look at.
Oh,
I love that. I love.
I
seeing them together.
love baby noodles. Baby
Fred
Pyrenees.
has a mini me.
Look at him.
oh,
Look at
beautiful.
Wow.
Oh,
They're
no.
related. I
I'll
don't
trade
know
you
if
my 2 for that one. You can have 2 naughty noodles for that one.
So there are actually, I know you're probably just joking, but there are still e-litter puppies available with these adorable freckles. I know Paula has
Really?
some. She's got 2 of them right now. They have this gorgeous, like gray ear and white
Yeah.
bodies and the freckles. They are just
Why don't you see if they'll bring them on the show next week, maybe?
maybe.
Yeah.
But,
Yeah, my,
I mean, just all
my
of
next one's
all of
gonna
the
have gray.
dogs from this family are amazing. They don't have the behavioral issues. Like Fred may have some insecurities, but
Mhm.
there's no food aggression. There's no reactivities.
Wow.
They're all very laid back. He's not
Wow.
He's not a real fan of the puppy in his personal space, but
Yeah.
Maybe we can
Yeah,
get Lori on the
he's
show
polite
next
about
week
it.
They're
too.
rude.
Maybe we can
Steve,
get
what
Lori
if
on
you
the show
got
next
one of the
week
puppies
too.
for me?
yeah.
You could get one of the puppies for me, but it would be mine. But then obviously my 2 wouldn't be able to have it here, but it would be my puppy at your house. We're basically neighbors.
There you go.
I've heard of a
There's one
program
way to
like
do
that.
it.
Like when
Hey,
they
I'd be happy to adopt Fred if you'd hang on to him there for me, Krista. He can live with you. But I'll
Absolutely.
adopt.
Fred's a doll. He really is.
Yes.
All right.
Whoever gets him is. I mean, just
Lori
look
says
at
she-
him. Look at him.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, Steve.
Lori says she'd come on the show next week. She has Newfoundlands.
Ooh, I love
Ooh,
him.
Newfies are cool.
Newfies. Yeah. So.
So,
all right,
when are you
we'll put it
applying
up
for
next
Fred?
week.
He's not gonna let it go.
I bet Sasha
Little
would
one
really
looks
like
a
Fred.
panda. That's the first thing I thought,
That
but
is
I
so
couldn't think
cute.
of the word
Let me see.
panda at the time.
Yeah, he's got the little panda eyes.
Yeah.
He's so
That's the one that's
cute.
adopted, Krista.
Say that again.
Is the little one the one that's adopted?
Yeah, by me.
Oh,
Yeah.
Oh,
he's perfect.
what's that one's name?
I fell in love with Bon Bon, and
That's
when
Bon
Fred
Bon?
came in, Fred is very much the same. If his confidence were up, they would have very similar personalities. This puppy, so I thought it would be fun to have some puppies in the house for the weekend. I had my nephew over and just wanted him to have some extra, playtime with the puppies and give the puppies a break from headquarters. And
Okay.
he just fit really well in front.
So how did you approach your husband like that? Hey,
Hey,
let's go get a puppy to foster. It'll be fun. By the way, we're going to keep him, just so you know.
Do you know if Malo is full
I had
Pyrenees?
to break out the tears and.
Sydney, do
But
you have any questions?
it turns out that I think he probably loves the dog a lot more than me. He's like best buddies here.
Yeah.
Wow.
Isn't that? I think that always happens.
Yeah.
Always the husband.
Is the puppy full Pyr? Do you know?
Is he what? Full
Is
peer?
he full Pyrenees?
I think so. I mean, Fred's peer, and I know that his mom is peer.
Okay.
Like there's.
Hey, can we change the subject? Go back to Fred for a minute.
Of course, yes. Sorry.
You have anything, Sydney?
So I know that Fred is available, but do you feel like he's really not quite ready and he'll need some more time with you? What's kind of your gauge about how much, like when he'll really be ready?
So my feeling on this is that it's going to be quite a big change when Fred goes to a new home. Transport is a whole other story. It's very traumatic even to a normal, well-adjusted dog. For Fred, it's going to be a lot harder. So it may mean that his adopter has to spend a little bit extra time getting him comfortable and just refamiliarize with being in a home and be patient and trying to get him to come out of his shell, because he's such a timid dog already. I just think that transport is going to be pretty rough on him.
Should he be adopted in Texas then?
I think probably it would be better if we gave him some medication for transport. I think he'll be fine.
Okay.
Otherwise, I don't think it's that bad where he'll have to stay in Texas. It's quite hot here, and
Okay.
his coat. So Bon, I think is Fred's son, has already shed his undercoat.
Wow.
Fred has not shed his undercoat, and I don't think he's going to.
He will.
His coat is
They
very
adjust
good.
quite nicely to different climates. They do.
That is just such a great picture of him. I love it. He's so.
It is.
It's beautiful.
I love that picture. Wow. Okay, Sydney, you got any more questions?
So he does. You said he does fine with the cats. He doesn't mind them, and he could actually go to a home that already has multiple dogs. Maybe kind of the more the merrier for his comfort level and just like lots of points of security. If somebody already had 2 dogs or maybe even 3. That might be actually better for him.
Absolutely.
Oh boy, look at that picture.
Yeah, he's just just striking.
Yeah, how do you not want that boy? So,
He's so sweet.
have you tried yet? How long have you had Fred?
I think I've had him about a month.
Okay, so that explains a lot. Just hasn't been enough time. Dogs are different. Some dogs are different. On average, it can take a while. I don't even want to put a timeline on it because I don't want to put a timer on it.
Yeah,
Okay.
Fred's one of those multi-month before he really feels comfortable in a home. He's still running to his kennel.
Yeah, and it doesn't mean you can't do it. That means just like what Krista said, patience. Do you have a patience hat the size of Texas that can go with him?
To circle back to what Sydney was asking, if he needed more time to get ready, I think the answer for that is definitely no, because it's going to take him so much time that it's better if he goes ahead and gets placed in his forever home. That way he can start the adjustment process then, because it's going to take a long time.
Okay.
Yeah, and it will, and he will come around. He can do this. He's great. Period.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's things you can do for confidence boosting for him and just making him feel that he is safe and that he learns to come out on his own.
What a
Laura
sweetie.
said she knows that face.
So Laura was Marlowe's foster when he was elite.
Oh.
Okay. Okay. Now I'm going to change subject for a second. Have you heard about how Coltrane is doing? You remember Coltrane?
You have not?
Wasn't that you there? Oh, wait a minute. You didn't have Coltrane. You had, who was that octopus you had afraid of the TV?
Sam.
Sam?
Mm-hmm.
How's he doing? Still afraid of the TV?
Sammy. We'll save that story for another day.
Okay. We'll drop it right there.
He's still around. He's just, he's very
if somebody
scared.
needs to talk to us, give him my number.
Okay.
So that got awkward, didn't it?
No.
All right.
And I think just really
Sam's
quick,
just he's so scared. He is just he's so scared. And like I was feeding him today, and he's, we had the thunderstorms last night. Every time we have thunderstorms run through, he goes into his house and he doesn't come out. Even to food, I have to put the food in the kennel, and he'll come out maybe tomorrow and eat. He's just petrified.
You know, we can help you with that, right? We've been getting more and more effective on helping dogs through thunderstorms.
Steve, I think that you should. I think that you should take Sam and rehabilitate him.
Yeah, Steve, you can help him rehabilitate in your home.
Have you noticed I'm sitting here by myself right now?
And he
my wife-
really he needs somebody who's going to be intensive with him. He's
Yeah,
a
Steve.
long life of traumas.
no pressure, right?
Yeah, Steve.
No
come on.
pressure. There's never any pressure, just peer pressure.
Yeah.
And I think, I think what's at the heart of this conversation and the way that it's going is for us to remember that dogs are not plug and play.
No.
And sometimes adopters fall in love with a photo and a story in the bio. And it speaks to them and they think, gosh, that's the perfect dog for me. And they kind of create a romance with this bio and picture that they see, and they forget that this is an investment in a relationship. And some dogs are going to adapt to your home a lot easier. And other dogs, they need the devotion of patience and love. I mean, they need to be loved just as much as anybody else, but the patience is a lot more. They need somebody who's going to have that investment and really give it all that they've got in order to make that dog feel comfortable, because the dogs deserve it. But that's the thing, is they're not plug and play. And we need to remember that. I mean, fosters learn that really quickly. But, adopters too need to think about that, because fosters are investing in these dogs so that they can go on the next step of their journey, which is a forever home. But that doesn't mean that the adopter doesn't need to put in investment either. So that's the important thing, is sometimes it takes a lot more patience and grace for a dog, but gosh darn it, these dogs deserve it. So
Yes, they do.
Yeah,
And believe
that's
it or
really well
not,
said there.
a dog like Fred is actually an easy dog for the adopter, because
Yeah.
he's very predictable. The behaviors that Krista sees will still be with him up there. And that's a good thing. All right. Because now he's got a new hero, a new person he can turn to help him through this. Okay. And he never has to leave there. Better not never have to leave there. And
Or you'll
also,
come get him, right?
if you get stumped, Pyrenees Rescue Society has training resources. Okay. They have trainers in Oregon, Washington. They have us. We work with them. Me and Levi, we help out virtually. And sometimes if virtual doesn't meet the needs, then we have boots on the ground up there of approved trainers that we have up there. So there's help if you need it. You're not, when you adopt a dog from Great Pyrenees Rescue Society, you're not in this alone.
Yeah.
And it's that progress is not linear, not in dogs, not in people. It's, they're going to have bad days, they're going to have bad weeks, just as we do. And because they're sentient animals, and, there's no such thing as a bad or a wrong emotion, because emotions just are. And as an adopter or a foster, whether that's working with, Alistair, Nellie, or Fred, or any dogs that you currently own now, is having the patience and being able to just roll with the punches, because they are also creatures of the environment, just as we are. They're not, just like you said, they're not plug and play. It's not, oh, but you were perfect yesterday. Okay, but today's a new day. Every day's a new day. So it's being able to dedicate a different part of yourself with not only that patience, but that adaptability, and being able to work with who the dog in front of you is, not the dog that you saw on paper, not the dog you had 20 years ago. It's the dog you have right in front of you. That's
right. I'm glad we didn't have any puppies on. He would have stole the show from the puppies. He's horrible.
Ouch.
I mean, how do you... That's you always remember, Fred is capable of getting through some of this on his own, but personally, I would rather be there assisting. Okay,
Yeah.
just like any other adopter would. Oh, you know, we want him to turn to us. Let's help you through it, just like a medical foster. Look at that.
Right.
He's so
I think
cute.
you got a friend, Krista.
I'm sorry.
It's just,
I think you have a friend.
Oh,
I hope she has. This
Yeah.
just has
only
such
because
a sensitive
only because
soul.
I've got the treats with me right now.
That's okay.
Oh,
Otherwise, he'd like
Treats
to
are
spend
friends,
the rest of the afternoon in his kennel. Thank you so much for
Right.
having us on, Steve.
oh,
Yes.
hey, I wanted to meet Fred. I love his story.
It could be
And,
yours.
and I think you have 3 siblings there of some sort. Are you really going to keep embarrassing him like that?
Oh yeah.
Well, who's who in that picture? I think Fred's the big one in the middle, right?
So Fred is actually the one poking his head around the door to the far right.
Okay.
Really?
Yeah.
And then Malo's in the middle.
Malo's the little one, and then
Uh-huh.
Bon Bon is the big white one in the middle,
Okay.
and my resident dog is the lab on the left.
Okay.
Okay, so the 3, except Bon Bon is yours, right? But the other 2 are fosters. Is that correct?
Malo is mine. He's a little guy.
Oh, Malo's yours.
And Bon Bon and Fred are fosters.
Okay.
Okay. But Bon Bon
Fred?
can stay as long as he likes, right? Is that what
Oh,
you
yeah.
said?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Why don't you just take him? Just tell the police.
He
I
has
want
he has
Bon Bon too.
adopters.
Okay.
Oh, he's the one that has a doctor. Okay.
Yeah. He has
Right.
the most amazing adopters.
Good. I like that when that happens. And you know, a lot of the adopters are amazing. Just about every one of them, because you kind of have to be to get a dog from GPRS. You got to be amazing anyway. Because it seems like you got to pry him out of your cold dead hands. Hey,
Oh, that's
gotta
not
get a
that's
good
not
hand.
totally true, but it is true that you have to be a pretty spectacular adopter. These dogs have been through so much, and we really want to make sure that they're placed in the perfect home, and that it's a forever thing for them.
Yeah.
It's a lifelong commitment. For a young dog, you're looking at about 12, 13 to 15-year commitment. Depends.
Yeah.
And so you got to be prepared for that. Vet bills everything. All right.
Yeah. And even for like slightly older dogs or just later on senior dogs, that
Seniors
it's
are
easy
the
for, yeah, it's easy for a future adopter / maybe foster to be like, oh, but I don't want an old dog. Sure, but that old dog also doesn't want to spend the rest of their life in a kennel as an old dog. So
That's right. And the old dog may not want you either.
yeah, that's true.
I'm a big fan of the carpet decoration.
Yeah.
Very
So
sweet.
Bearskin rug
I'm
dogs.
partial to the older dogs because they're just already potty trained for the most part, unless they're coming straight from the farm. They're
Yeah.
sleepy dogs. They're nice and cuddly.
Yeah.
Very sweet.
Mhm.
All
Yeah,
right.
seniors are the best. I have 2. So I have a 10-year-old and a dog that's going to be 12 in
Wow.
July. So yeah, that's I love it.
All right. Look at that. It's 5:01. We're on overtime. We
Yeah.
brought Levi up, and man, thanks for coming, Levi. That was it's not what we actually planned, but it
Worked.
still worked out good in the end. So that means
yeah.
you're going to have to try to come back next week and follow through on our plan from this week, because it all started when we ran the rerun last week.
Mhm.
So there. All right. And we're getting, well,
Nice.
thanks, Laurie. Yeah. I'll get a hold of you after the show. Or maybe, yeah, it has to be today because you got to work tomorrow. We'll talk about getting your dogs on. Because, hey, that's all about the dogs. So,
Yep.
and they don't have to be Great Pyrenees. They just happen to be all the time so far. And this was our 46th show, by the way. We're coming up to a year next week that the rescue show has been alive. So,
Wow.
yeah, so a year. Thank you, everybody, for supporting us and watching, and the rescues that are supporting and coming on. And it's been a great adventure, and we're hoping for, well, even a better second year. Because now that we're a year old, we're housebroken now. So, all right, everybody.
Ooh.
We'll see you next week. We'll
All right. Thank you for having us.
Yes, thank you so much,
Thank you.
to Krista and Debbie for bringing on your fosters.
yeah, and thank you guys for bringing them on. It's always a pleasure to have you guys on, and hopefully some of the folks that are camera shy, they get to see this, and the camera's on you guys by choice. Okay, I mean, you got the ability to have the camera on the dog the whole time. It's up to you,
Right.
and then we'll make sure it stays that way too. So 'cause we have me and Levi and Sydney, we have the controls.
Nice.
Anyway, all right, everybody. See
All
you
right.
next week.
Thank you. Bye.
Yeah.